Welcome to Swarf and Chips. This week is our DMG Mori special edition. Stay tuned to learn about one of the world leaders in machine tool technologies. We're talking innovation, we're talking technologies, and of course, special offers. Now, here we have the MD of DMG Mori, Mr. Steve Finn. Welcome to the set, Steve. Now, for those of you that don't know about DMG Mori, can you tell us where you place yourselves in the market?
Well, firstly, thank you for having me on the show. It's a great pleasure and very much appreciated. DMG Mori, worldwide organisation, just about every country covered throughout the world, 22 factories that operate various products. But from the UK's point of view, I'm responsible for running the UK. We employ just over 100 people. A high percentage of those people are involved in the support mechanism for the customer, either pre or post. We've also got a nice showroom at Coventry, number of machines always ready for live demonstrations, and we're very actively involved in supporting manufacturing. We work very closely with the catapult sensors throughout the UK. We support UK skills very heavily, which is coming up very soon, and we just work within the industry and give them the support from the technology's point of view.
I always think it's interesting the levels of technology that your machine tools offer to users in the UK. How much of an emphasis is put on research and development at DMG Mori?
It's quite big because we had to keep ahead, and we have 650 R&D staff working on all various applications, whether that be metal cutting or laser or grinding. And new technology is coming through all the time.
And do sometimes engineers, when they see the sophistication of what you offer, would you say sometimes they think it's maybe out of their reach, but actually it's probably not?
It's not in a lot of cases. It's about a mindset, about how you operate within your own factory. But we have a very wide portfolio. So if a customer wants a simple 2-axis lathe or a simple 3-axis machining centre, we can supply. And we do quite frequently. But there is lots of opportunities to introduce high technology into the UK market and give the UK manufacturing that competitive edge.
Because I think that's what me and Lyndsey were discussing before the show about the customer base, and how today I think a lot of this is to express that actually, although you offer those fantastic levels of sophistication, there is the element where the small manufacturer can benefit too.
Absolutely. I think that we have across the world, our customer base is companies of less than 50 people. And in the UK, that actually can narrow down to less than 20 people. So there are very small companies out there taking on technology. We've recently installed a 5-axis multi-pallet system, 36 pallet system, into a company that employs 5 people.
Wow.
So, we go across the board, and quite happy to work with what I affectionately term as Fred in the shed through to the multinationals.
Yeah. Okay, Steve, what are the business trends for 2016?
There have been some real challenges for everybody knows it's tough out there. One of the things that we've certainly seen is the short order book. But we started off in Mac in April. Mac 2016 was a tremendous platform for us, and that gave us a great kickstart for the rest of the year. It's the short order book is the issue, and visibility is difficult. And from that point of view, I can sympathise with the customers wanting to have an investment that's going to last them 10 plus years, how they actually can make the decisions. But work carries on.
Okay.
What about the big burning question this year, which was the Brexit? How did you see things before, and how have they been since?
Well, definitely pre-Brexit, there was some hesitation, and people were putting things on hold. And of course, there was a nervousness in the marketplace. And when there is a nervousness, you will see the first thing that stops is capital goods expenditure. So we can understand that. But after Brexit, actually, it really started picking up. And of course, the great thing for the UK manufacturing is the pound versus other currencies. There are some huge gains that have been made. We are now a very competitive country for manufacturing. And if you look at the PMI that was released recently, within the last few days, it is stating about workflow that's coming in from the USA, from EU, from China. So that's good for UK manufacturing.
And with the change of the electorate in America, who knows what could happen for the rest of this year, 2017.
I think you're
right.
right.
You see a bigger picture. Obviously, we're talking UK here, but you were travelling last week to Japan, so obviously you see counterparts that you see your colleagues that are working in different countries. How are they seeing things as well?
They're the same as me. It's about knowing what's going to happen in the next few months. There is uncertainty in the marketplace. There is a nervousness, but people continue. You know, people still need to actually have their implants put in. They still need to fly on aeroplanes. They still need to drive cars. And from that point of view, parts are still being manufactured.
I had my implants done last week.
Okay.
Yes, I've got one coming up. So.
Oh no! So talking of you being busy, Paul, I know you went to the showroom in Coventry this week.
I did. It really is a fantastic place. Had a good look round, and in fact, let's cut to that now.
Yeah.
So I'm here at DMG Mori, their UK headquarters in Coventry, on the Middlemarch Business Industrial Estate. I'm going to go into the showroom and show you exactly how impressive this facility is. So what you're about to witness here is levels of technology often unseen in other machine tool showrooms. You can see here we've got a vast amount of space where machines are coming and going on a regular basis. We're going to start here with the DMU ATP Duo block from DMG Mori. This is a universal 5-axis machining centre. Just look at this machine move. You can see how you'll be able to tackle any angle or any positioning when it comes to multi-face, multi-axis machining. This is machine 1. Let's go on to another 5-axis machining centre. We've reviewed this one before. This is the DMU 60 Evo Linear. Really like this machine, very tidy footprint, very nimble, very agile and very, very fast. What's great as well is they've got a billet in a chuck here. DMG Mori want you to see these machines in action when you come in this showroom. You'll notice as we go past every machine, they are equipped and ready to go to press the cycle start button. So you can come here and witness supreme technology in action. We move on to the NHX 5000. This is a twin pallet horizontal machining centre, ideally lending itself to production machining. It's a 500 pallet, I believe. Not sure on the spindle speed, but I know it will be a high-speed horizontal machining centre here. Again, ready to do a demonstration. We like this machine as well at MTD. This is the DMU 75 monoblock. We reviewed this, had over 12,000 views in 3 months on the review of this machine. Extremely cost competitive 5-axis machining, slightly different in the sense that we've got a much bigger trunnion table, and we've got an indexing integrated C-axis in the machine as well. All these machines have got the Celos control, the Celos software to aid you in your setup, your programming, to make life easy for you as the operator and give you more options, certainly when we go towards Industry 4. NVX 5080 3-axis machining centre with the Celos control, and also you can see here we've got 3 demos set up, ready to run, and they're pretty impressive demos as well, which are going to show off contouring capabilities of the machine. So DMG Mori do 3-axis machines. I know we've got a plethora of 5-axis technology in here, but they do 3-axis too. This is a mill turn machine. You can see here again we're equipped with a billet. We're ready to do a demonstration. 8-inch chuck machine, probably a 52, maybe a 65mm bar capacity. You've got a bottom turret and a B-axis head, which will enable you, and a subspindle, which will enable you to do balance turning on this machine. It'll enable you to remove metal quicker. It'll reduce cycle times on complex parts. These machines are good sellers for DMG Mori. We move backwards now onto something interesting and a little bit different. This is the CT V250. This is a vertical lathe. This is a vertical lathe with an automated loading system, powered by a Siemens control. 8-inch chuck machine. In fact, the 250 may mean you can get a 10-inch as well. But with a vertical spindle there, you can see the spindles hanging. So the swarf, when you're machining, will fall away from the workpiece. It's becoming a popular method of machining, certainly in the automotive industry. And when you've got a system feeding it like the automation there, it means you can press the button and leave the machine running. So this is the Sprint 20 For all you production turning outfits, companies looking at reducing their cycle times on turn parts, this is a platen-based machine. You've got driven tools, turning tools, a sub-spindle, the latest Fanuc 32i control, and as the Sprint 20, as the 20 denotes, it's a 20mm bar machine. DMG Mori do tackle the marketplace when it comes to sliding head lathes, so this is an option for you production turning companies as well. So now we walk towards the part of the showroom where we're looking at the Eco range. This is the this is the Eco line. We've got the Eco Mill and the Eco Turn machines available from DMG Mori. This is a 3+2 machine. This is a neat, compact, high performance, cost competitive 5-axis machine tool, carrying all the hallmarks of quality that are presented by DMG Mori. If you're looking for reduction in setups and you want to complete components, again, this machine's ready for a demo quickly and more effectively. The Eco Mill DMU50 or the Eco line is an option. We move down to the Eco Mill 800. These are machines that are popular within the subcontract arena. These are 3-axis machining centres. They are an economical purchase. They're a well-built machine. Like we've spoke about these machines on previous reviews, they're built slightly differently to other machining centres. You've got high-speed spindles, you've got high-speed rapids, you've got a nice configuration of the table, which means Swarf falls away into the base of the machine, and they can come with either the Siemens or the Fanuc control. This is the smaller machine of the two. This is the Eco Mill 600V, again equipped, ready to do a demo. A very, very neat and tidy machine. Some of our other commentators say how beautifully presented the DMG Mori machines are. Well, that's correct, but it's not all about what they look like, it's about what they can do, and that's what DMG Mori want you to see when you come here to Coventry to look at the machines. We're going to finish our whip round this showroom on the Milltap 700. This is a 5-axis machine. This is a very, very nimble, high-speed 5-axis machine with a tool changer that's got 25 tools. You're looking at high-speed production on smaller components, maybe the medical industry. So where does this machine fit in their portfolio? Well, for component manufacturers making parts a similar size to what you can see on the table, if you're looking to get from face to face or from operation to operation extremely quickly, then this machine has some seriously fast rapids, a high-speed spindle, so it will reduce your cycle times on one-piece part manufacturing. So hopefully you've enjoyed this quick whip round the showroom. This gives you a real flavour for what DMG Mori can offer you here in the UK. If you want to see machines in action, then this really is a place to visit in Coventry at their UK head office.
Wow, what an impressive showroom. Steve, do you have a lot of people visit? Because I know you had a tech day the other day, didn't you?
We had a tech day recently where we had, focusing on bringing customers in, but we get people through every single day. And we also use it to support UK skills. So we've just recently done some training in there for them. So they're live machines ready for live demonstrations and some good technology in there as well. You know, we've got a variety of 5-axis machines and which suits different applications. We've got multitasking machines, we've got mill turn mill, and then we've also got the Eco range, which is obviously down at the entry level.
And I think it's interesting from selling machines, it's always important to get customers into your showroom, isn't it? Because once you've got them there and they can sort of touch and feel and witness the technology, you're over halfway home, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's also a willingness for the customer to come to see us in the first instance, but once we're there, we can prove what we've got. And the investment that I've made into not just the building, which the UK own now, so that's a £5 million investment, so we're here to stay, but it's the people, and the people are obviously very, very instrumental in how the equipment is not only demonstrated but also supported afterwards.
And I like that, as I said in that piece, everything is set up for a demo. You've got
you've got the apps guys, you've got everyone there.
Yeah, Chris was there. Machines press cycle start cutting metal. You know, it is very, very impressive. Do you have many open houses?
We have one major one each kind of autumn time. Next year we'll be driving probably smaller, more selected technology days, probably 4 or 5 times throughout the year.
Steve, what are the latest innovations from DMG Mori this year?
Where do you start?
Yeah, that's true.
We run from general metal cutting, multi-axis machines. We've got laser technology. We've got laser deposition technology for additive and subtractive. We are now developing laser cutting on lathes as pure laser cutting. The technology moves on at a very, very fast pace.
Laser cutting on lathes. So we know about laser deposition, but you're talking about actually using removal. Right.
Yeah, removal.
In conjunction with deposition or two?
No, we have two options. We have turning machines and 5-axis machines with laser deposition now, as well as laser cutting on machines.
Wow.
Turning lathes.
I'd be interested to know a bit about more of this control, Steve. This Celos control. This is a big thing for DMG Mori as well.
They launched it 2015, didn't you?
Yeah, it's very important for us, this control, because it gives commonality across the broad product range. So if we've got products that are coming out from Germany, which are traditionally with Siemens back ends, Siemens control software and hardware, and then if you've got stuff that's coming out of Japan, which is generally Fanuc or Mitsubishi, this actually gives a commonality. So it's the front working opportunity for the workshop. It gives commonality amongst machines, and more importantly, it links into systems like Industry 4.0.
Yeah.
Which,
now you've just said that, can you tell us a little bit more about Industry 4.0? Because people are always talking about it, but can you do a little bit of a brief overview as to what it is and how it's going to help engineering companies?
Well, I think from a real deep technical point of view, it's how you're running your company. From an electronic point of view, getting data through, how you can analyse that data, and whilst we utilise that in our own machine shops throughout the world. By using paperless and data that's coming back very quickly. Our opportunity is to let the customers understand it better from a point of view of how the machine works. So we're building more and more sensors into the machine. We can start literally fly-by-wire with a machine tool. So as time comes on, we can give real predictive maintenance, and people can understand the opportunities that they've got with their machine tool in respects of utilisation, which is vitally important. The Celos control gives us all the opportunities to integrate all the paperwork into one system. So gone are the days when you need bits of paper everywhere. You can have a scheduling system on there. You can have your CAM system on there. You can have your tooling system on there. It's all under one roof. So it makes it more efficient for the customer to operate his machines.
Steve, I'm always interested in the level of technology, as we've spoken about already, but the speed of some of your machines, and the linear drives. We looked at this 60 Evo. What's the advantage to the user of having such high speed machining capabilities?
Well, there's two advantages. The first one is obviously cycle time, and this has proven very well in the automotive industry, where cycle time is critical. And then also on 5-axis machining of mould work, and particularly if customers are using softer materials where they can take advantage of the higher RPMs and the faster feed rates. That's really where the linear drives come in and give us that great accuracy and the dynamics within the 5-axis.
I was going to say the dynamics of this particular machine, this 60 Evo, is something else. We also looked at the spindle and the performance of the spindle. I mean, they're very sophisticated spindle drives that you've got too, aren't they?
Yeah, and a lot of those are built in-house, so we control the quality of that. And of course, we've got these innovation with the 650 R&D staff behind it, working on, the quality and the reliability of spindles, which is, a big issue for us to work on and make sure that we get it right.
Right, okay, customers, Steve, this is what it's all about for you. So we visited Eamon at Midland Aerospace. I think, Paul, you went to visit. Now, they've got 9 machines. What's your relationship like with them? It's
very good. We've actually just, as we speak, installing a multi-pallet 5-axis with turning machine for quite a complex project, which we're involved in the turnkey of. They've got, as you say, about 9 machines, a number of turning machines, a number of straightforward 2+3 and multi-axis 5-axis machines. So yeah, they're great customer, great recommendation. They're a good supplier into the aerospace industry. We know their qualifications and how they're looked upon by their customers as well. So.
And when you watch this video, I mean, the aesthetics of the DMG Mori machines are always pointed out as well, how nice they look. And I know that I won't say it's irrelevant because it's all about what they make, but Eamon's machine shop is equally as nice. So the two of those together, your machines and his machine shop, is a good picture.
It's right, and what's underneath the garden is probably the most important thing that makes the performance. But again, these people sell their capacity, so it has to be pleasing to when the buyers come in and look at what's going on, and they look at the investment. And I believe that seriously that the DMG Mori badge gives them their confidence that they can actually promote their own products.
Because from memory, Eamon was talking about he was predominantly milling with yourselves, wasn't he?
Yes.
And then he introduced turning
Yes.
as well, which is kind of a natural progression, I suppose.
Yeah, again, we've got a very satisfied customer that's that we can go for a whole portfolio of products to supply his needs, and I'm very, very pleased and delighted that he continues to work with us.
Right, we've got another customer and they've actually written in, and it's Ben Yule from Formaplex. He's written in saying, we love DMG Mori for various reasons, but accuracy, versatility and the huge range is what really attracted Formaplex to DMG Mori machines. There's lots and lots of other things that he said, but he's just recently had a huge DMU 100 Evo, and it's the first in the UK, and it landed with absolutely no issues at all. And they also say that the shop floor guys absolutely love the machines as well. So you can't really get much better than that, can you?
That's a great testament to us, and I'm very pleased and delighted that we have a very strong customer there, along with many others.
And that monoblock machine, he was talking about how the Z-axis is actually on the table, isn't it?
Yes.
Which was because they do a lot of mould and die parts, so lots of larger components, surface machining, and that gave them the more flexibility in their machining and a lot of rigidity because of the way the nature of that machine
Rigidity
was.
for sure.
Yeah. The other two machines they'd got was the Evo 5-axis machines. So it's kind of split the machine shop, I believe, into these monoblock machines, and then the other section is the Evo 5-axis for the high-speed milling, and that comes onto that later in the video. But yeah, he's got it well set out.
Yeah, and again, we're able to supply different alternatives for 5-axis. We're not just sit with one single 5-axis machine, and this customer wants to diversify into various industries.
And he was the one that mentioned about the 5-axis champion as well, and I'm sure we were going to come on to that at some point. We said, are DMG Mori 5-axis champions, and he agreed. So what is that statement about?
I think it's the experience that we have within the organisation, and it's very, very deep. 5-axis is not an easy thing to control. If you want to find out where you are at any particular point inside the machining area, you need to understand. And DMG Mori have certainly got lots of experience. We've got so many 5-axis variations. Whilst some customers say this is very confusing and you've got too much, the reality is that every customer wants something different, and that's where we can supply. But certainly as champions, we've certainly got a huge amount of knowledge on how 5-axis operates.
So in a moment, we're going to be discussing some deals from DMG Mori. However, Martin Locke from PES Engineering has written in. We have two Morosiki machines, an SL25, which is 20 years old and continues to hold 5 microns on a daily basis, as well as a new NLX machine. And the modern machine is, without question, class-leading technology. Wow.
Those Mori machines are older than me.
Well, that's a delightful comment. It really is very pleasing to hear. We know the product stands up and it does exactly what it says on the tin. So, but it's very nice to hear the customer actually prove that and make it happen.
He was making some really nice parts actually. Yeah. We saw he sent us an email a few weeks ago with some components that he was making. So yeah, I'm not surprised he's followed it up with that comment. Always good to hear.
Yeah, the NLX is particularly special because of the built-in motor turret it has, and the milling capability on that machine far exceeds anything that's out in the marketplace, and that really does allow people to combine, the milling and turning straight away without having to take the component off and do the milling on a machining centre.
And don't forget, if you do want to ask us a question, do contact us on the details below. So we've heard about the huge variety of machines you've got, Steve. We've heard really, really positive reviews from customers. What deals have you got now?
Well, now is the time to do a deal because we're coming up to the end of our fiscal year, which is calendar year, and that is across the world. Our results will be put into group and that will affect the share price of the company. So it's vitally important that we actually have a end of year push. From my point of view, I ordered quite a lot of machines back in 6 or 7 months ago that are now in stock in the showroom. So some of the stuff you saw in the showroom earlier. So we've got ATP, 60 Evos, which we discussed with Paul. So, you know, all of these machines are available for sale and for immediate delivery. We have capacity as well. So this is a planning from our point of view back in June, July, hoping that we can satisfy customer demands now. So yeah, now's the time to buy.
And I think from looking at the showroom sort of whip round that we did, even sliding head technology, you're in a great position to be able to tackle any opportunity really.
Yeah, if someone brings in a very small component, you know, whether it be short or long, we can put that on the turning machines. If we look at something that we've just sold recently into oil and gas, where they're doing a metre diameter, 2 metres long, we can cope with that as well. So it really is an opportunity for everybody. And
I'd just like to ask you know that vertical lathe again that we saw in the video, that spindle's upside down essentially, isn't it? Is the main benefit the swarf fall away on that?
No, the main benefit is unattended operation.
Right.
You know, and if you look at that machine in a smart way, it just carries on from where the bar feed is. So bar feeds run up to, let's say, 65mm bar capacity. And it's not uncommon to see a customer running 2 or 3 machines with one operative. Now, this is the same concept. So it's not about high volume. For sure, that machine can fit into high volume cells. But actually, if you had 2 or 3 of them, you could actually have one operator working, because you've still got to set the turret, you've still got to set the chuck, exactly the same as a horizontal lathe. It just means that you've got an automatic loading. And that's done with a set of parameters, which is very, very straightforward to do. So you get your extra hour through your lunch, you maybe run an hour on after work, and then suddenly, hey presto, you've got an 8-day week.
Steve, predictions for 2017?
Well, it's going to be a challenging year for everybody. As I said earlier, the short order book is here. I'm fairly optimistic about it. I mean, there is a lot of political turmoil. We've gone through Brexit, which we discussed with Paul a short while ago. We've seen the US elections, which is going to cause more nervousness within the marketplace. But funny enough, you know, exactly the next morning, we took 2 orders from 2 companies that continue with their business. They need to move on. We have got some challenges, but we have become a competitive nation. With the sterling as it is, and we need to make the best use of that with inside manufacturing. From my point of view, we will continue to support from an innovation, we will continue to support from people, resources themselves, and let people understand what they can do differently.
Aren't you recruiting as well?
We're recruiting. We've employed another 4 people actually this week. We are still looking for more service people because we can actually grow with the demand of that. We are coping with current demand, but we see that we can grow that area. So we've now set up a preventative maintenance contract department, which is just purely for the maintenance of machines. And we're certainly recruiting in that area as well. That's very positive from us.
Okay, so if anyone wants to contact you, of course, we'll put the details on the screen at the moment. You can contact DMG Mori, but also you've got your sales guys that can go across the country, go and visit companies, and if they've got a part, they'll talk to them about them and see what machine you can get.
Yeah, I've got a very extensive department there. We've got 15 area sales managers because I believe that customers have to be looked after very carefully, and it's not about actually having one sales guy to run across the whole country. Behind these 15 sales guys, I've got 4 product sales managers which support technically, and then inside that I've got 5 pre-sales engineers that do the proposal type of application work for the customers on the pre-sales. So there's a lot of actual support at the front end to make sure that the customer can actually think about new ways, how he can deliver innovation to his customer, make him competitive, and then get a nice invoice in.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thanks,
Steve.
It was a real pleasure. Paul, thank you. Lyndsey, thank you.
Wow, what a show. Now, you too can be mentioned on the show using the details on the screen. If you would also like to view previous episodes, click on the links on the screen. And of course, keep those spindles turning.